Hey, Linda, how are you doing today?
Good morning, how are you?
Good. My name's Kevin. I'm going to be your counselor here. Just want to, first of all, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
How you feeling?
Yeah.
Feeling good?
Yeah.
Good. How's things been since our last session?
They've been doing good, actually. I haven't slipped. I haven't, went back to the old people. My husband and I actually moved
Okay.
to a little bit better neighborhood.
Okay.
And I got a job and
Oh, where are you working at?
at Wendy's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, well, hey, that's
Yeah,
nothing
and,
wrong with that.
I am going next week to enroll part-time in school.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, that's good.
Mhm.
That's good. All right. So things seem like you're going, back on track here since you got out of rehab. So correct me if I'm wrong. According to my notes here, it looks like your sobriety is coming up on, including the time you were the inpatient rehab and out. Looks like you're going on about 18 months, which means you have about 4 months of sobriety post inpatient treatment. So that's pretty good.
Yes.
That's very good. That's very good. How are you enjoying the groups?
I'm sorry?
How are you enjoying the groups?
The groups, it took me a while to settle in. I was kind of shy, which
Yeah.
was totally not me because when I'm out there in the streets, I'm like all loud and stuff, But when I got around a bunch of sober people, it became a little awkward. But I settled in after maybe about a month or two, and I began to open up, and I think that I contributed pretty well to it.
Well, that's good. And those feelings that you have, I mean, you're in a new situation with people backgrounds similar to yourself, and it's a lot of people you don't know. So those feelings, I mean, that's normal to kind of want to sit back and maybe not say as much the first few times and get a feel for it. That's completely normal. So that's good. So you're working at Wendy's. How many hours a week are you working there?
I'm working 30 hours a week.
30 hours a week?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good. That's good. A lot of times it's, that's one of the biggest struggles for people when they get back out is finding gainful employment. Most people have, bad job records or criminal records or both. And so it's difficult for them to find a job. So that's good that you're doing that. How's your family life? What's the life at home with the husband? You live with your husband and
My two children.
Two children. Okay, yeah. How's that working out for you?
It's getting better. My husband and I have been doing some counseling to work on our relationship, and my kids, being that they were so young when I was in my addiction, really bad in my addiction, they don't really remember mommy not being there. So we kind of just picked up where we left off. Me and my girls did, and I get them up for school every day, and I'm home every day when they get home, and we just really basically established a stricter routine.
Okay.
And it's really good. I love my girls, and they love me, and like I said, my husband and I are working on our problems.
That's good. And correct me if I'm wrong, he's never been through addiction, right?
No, he's
Okay.
never. He had a brother that went through addiction, so
Right.
he understands somewhat, but he doesn't have the personal experience.
Right, I understand that. And it's difficult for someone who's never experienced it firsthand.
It is.
To really understand what it is, we as addicts go through. I remember when I was, dating a girl when I was trying to get clean, and I felt like I couldn't talk to her about my addiction because she would just get upset. Is it you think that's the case with your husband, or is he?
It was at first, but since we've been going to the counseling and stuff, he's beginning to understand that it wasn't anything that he did. It was just some deep-rooted issues that I had from childhood and stuff that I was always running away from and escaping. And he's really become a little bit more open to understanding.
That's good, and he's supportive of you in your recovery.
Yes, yeah, he's very supportive.
That's good. That's good. It's good to have people like that, willing to help you. So let me ask you this: have you identified any have you had any triggers, or have you had? Let me back up for a minute. Have you had any cravings to use since you got out?
Yeah, I have been using dreams.
Yeah.
You know, where you're using and then you wake up and you're looking for that drug in your hand.
Yeah. And how do you cope with that when you have the using dreams?
It's really hard. Usually I'll just get up, get a drink of water, use the restroom, and then I'll snuggle up real close to my husband, throw my arm around him and hold on to him like he's an anchor, you know, for me.
Okay. What about urges to use? Not just having the dreams and stuff. What about urges to use? How do you handle those? What do you use to cope?
There's been a couple. Well, more than a couple, if I'm honest. Mostly, like, if I'm out and about doing normal things, grocery shopping, hanging out with the kids at the park or something, I'll look in a direction and I'll see something that reminds me of when I was using and stuff. I just really try to focus on my family.
Right.
You know, I try, like, anytime the urge comes, I remind myself of how they're going to feel if I slip back.
Do you have anybody you can call when one of these urges comes?
I have my sponsor.
Okay, so you call your sponsor when you need to. Well, that's good. That's a big step. So you regularly attend AA or NA meetings or both?
Yeah, I try to attend as much as possible. My work schedule kind of makes it hard, but
I understand.
There's an online community called In the Rooms.
I've heard about that.
Yeah, when I'm not in work, or you know, I can go there and I can talk to anybody from all over the world. You know, there's people that's been like
That's
me.
good. That's really good. Okay. All right, so we've identified. Let me ask you this: Do you have anything that you've identified as potential triggers? Are there anything? I know you just mentioned. You know, sometimes you'll see an old place or something like that that'll remind you. But do you have any specific things that are triggers that you know are triggers for you that you know you have to abstain from in order to stay sober?
Mostly I just avoid areas.
Right.
You know, that's my biggest trigger. If I'm driving and you know I'm close to the areas where I used to use that, that is my biggest trigger. So, and this might sound stupid, but I was using some flour the other day, and it reminded me of cocaine. And I don't know if that's really a trigger or not, but it reminded me, you know, it made me want to use, and I'm like, no, you know, it's kind of stupid, but.
Well, no, it's not stupid. I mean, if it triggered you to want to use, then that's something. I'll give you an example. For me, when I was, you know, going through my past and stuff, one of my big triggers was certain songs, music on the radio that would take me back to my using days. Things like that, and for a long time, just boredom was a big trigger for me. I don't know if you experienced that self, but like I have to, you know, I had to stay busy. I don't know if that's something like that. Yeah. So the more productive activities you can engage in. I know you're busy with your job and with going back to school and taking care of your kids and stuff like that. Sounds like you have a pretty busy life, and that's good. The busier you are, especially in these early stages of post-rehab, you know, it's very good to stay active, and then, like you said, to definitely call your sponsor when you have one of those cravings or urges. So that's good. Was there anything else that you want to talk about? Anything that's going on? You have any pressing issues that you'd like to discuss? Anything you worry about or concerned about, questions about?
Well, you know, all my relationships are good except for the one with my father. Okay. He has not forgiven me for stealing his wallet when I was in my addiction, and I've tried a couple of approaches, you know. I tried apologizing to him in person and on the phone, sent him an email, you know, and so I'd really just like to, you know, repair that relationship with him, you know, make my amends with him. And I have made my amends with him, but he hasn't accepted it, and maybe that's my problem. I haven't accepted that he hasn't accepted.
Well, one of the steps, I think it's, what is the making of the amends, 7 or 8 in the steps. You know, we make amends to those when possible. It sounds like to me you've done everything on your part to make amends with your father, and he just may not be ready. The best advice I can give you right now is maybe just to leave it alone until he comes around. And I know that's difficult because you probably want him back in your life. You want him to be able to somebody you can call to talk to. But you know, the longer he sees you doing good, and the more productive you are, and the more you know, successful you become with your addiction as you go on, yeah, he'll be willing to forgive you. So anyway, all right, well, this was, I think, a pretty good session, and like I said, I mentioned earlier, we'll be meeting once a week. You know, you have your 2 groups with Tamika, you know, twice a week. You and I will be meeting for one-on-one sessions once a week. I believe, I'll have to check with the receptionist on the way out. We'll see about getting you scheduled to see the doctor, who's a licensed psychiatrist, and then he can determine, you know, potentially of using, you know, medicines. I don't know how you feel about that, or if you want to. That's something you and him can discuss. A lot of our patients need to take antidepressants, or, you know, medicines they have difficulty sleeping, or things like that. Whatever, but that's something you and him can discuss, and they can help you more with the front desk as far as getting scheduled. All right, well, it sounds like you're definitely on the right track, Linda. I just encourage you to continue to do what you're doing, and always remember that your sobriety is the most important thing in your life. It has to be the most important thing in your life. It has to remain the most important thing in your life. And the second you lose sight of that, you're in danger for failure. So you and I will see each other again this time next week. And one more thing, just gotta ask you. Do you have any thoughts of hurting yourself or anybody else?
No.
No? You're good? Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good. All right. Because you know anything you say is in this room, with the exception of that. So, all right. Well, it sounds good, Linda. I wish you the best of luck, and we'll see you again this time next week.
All right. That sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You have a good day.